Okay, so here we go. The person this reading for is the person I'm reading for is a male. Very specifically, not feeling too hot right now. Not feeling too hot about themselves. Um, Pretty much just kicking themselves in the ass uh, regarding certain decisions and choices that they've made. There's a bit of looking at where things could have been better. Definitely wiser now, and with that knowledge, having to go ahead and amend what they can and continue to build what's possibly possible to be built. Um, Not all is lost, and this is known. It's just that five months ago, in comparison to today, that would put us around the April timeframe or the month of May. It's a lot that has transpired. So it's really taking stock of everything, like what you know, what were certain decisions worth? How could they have been better? Or hindsight being 2020. It's like what things took a hit, what friendships took a blow, what connections really suffered or were not designed to actually be included from the jump, or seeing that something has run its course already and going against the grain, not having actually severed those ties or broken those bonds and continued a cycle that should have closed. It really does show in effect now. So the way that they're presenting, or the way that they are showing up in their fullest potential, though, they really do have what it takes. They really do have all of this momentum, all of these great ideas. They are poised in a specific position. Even it doesn't matter where they go or what they're doing, whether it's work or just out in public or with friends or with family or even by themselves. They have this certain stature about themselves, and it is very, very visible um, by everyone that does see them or does approach them or just witnesses them doing their things from a day-to-day period. They have this air about them, this gait about them, this stance, that is more so sense than spoken. It's a lot of respect that comes this person's way, but underlying, they still have this sense of fuck ups that they haven't quite gotten over. And so kind of crossing this energy is everything that they do want and desire, but with a person who is positioned like this or cloaked like this, it's hard to come undone in a safe way. It's hard to really, you know, bear those vulnerabilities or really get down to what one wants and needs and really, sets out to accomplish. So there is a lot of question about, you know, when the lights get turned down low, when, you shut off the phone, when you lay down on the pillow and you have those, that 10, 20, 30 minutes turned into an hour of just sitting there like, where am I going? What am I doing? What do I want? And it just ruminate, ruminates, reverberate, ruminates, like you ruminate on it. Don't mind me, please. I'm trying to get it together. And so, this person is really just kind of seeking some type of moment where everything kind of clicks and there's a clarity that comes through. They're really trying to get to that point. It seems like right now, There's too many ripples in the pond. They can't see their reflection quite clear just yet. And so there is a dual nature here where, you know, people do have moments where they do fantasize about um, what their life would be like, or if, certain things did happen to them, or in their career, or just their dreams, or whatever it may be. What would they do, or where would they go? How would they live? And it's put in balance up against the practical world. Like, what do I have? What do I do during the day? I have to go to work. I couldn't just do this or do that, or I don't even have time for this and that. And so it's kind of half manifestation and half nipping it in the bud. So it neutralizes a wish or a dream or desire that a person may have, because the only thing that they can see is where they currently are. They're not able to disconnect their physical 3D circumstances from where it is they really want to see themselves go, or what they would do when they got there. So even bringing in that feeling of elation or happiness or joy or contentment in order to allow the universe to match it and bring these types of things into them, these experiences, is going to be difficult, especially if a person's energy underlying the situation is about loss, is about lack, is about things that are no longer what they were cracked up to be. But this is also helping a person better navigate their next. Let your next step be your best step, or let your next move be your best move. Is kind of the feeling I'm getting here. So I'm definitely getting like chessboard, a person, 48 laws of power, the art of war, things having to do with strategy. Um, this person knows that they're going to have to maneuver in a certain way and think 2 to 5 steps ahead in order to actually get there, and actually anticipate their next step. But with that also comes a lot of overthinking. So it's a cautionary measure to say, to not uh, let things run amok and you run these ideas or these senses of strategy into a wall or a dead end, because you can't wrap your mind around being satisfied with actually succeeding in one of these ways that you're seeing yourself do, that you're actually um, foreseeing. You feel like it may just be a fantasy, but it's actually you seeing what you can do, what you're able to do. So there is a lot of potential here, right? But not without the work. And that may seem daunting, especially with it just becoming a simple fantasy, or just seeming like a daydream of sorts, or you're lulling into sleep. So it's almost as if you're lucid dreaming. And this thing can actually take shape as long as you let your subconscious do the work and stop getting in the way. We're saying, well, I can't do that because I don't have this, or it's going to cost too much. Money is no object when you really want what you want and you have that pure intent and that desire, because it's going to be brought to you, and it could be brought to you in a half off, or some kind of special, or 2 for 1, or whatever it may be. So money doesn't um, it is not the biggest drawback from getting to where you want to go, if that makes sense. So, what you don't know and what you really don't see is this. I'm sorry. This is exactly where you're supposed to be, sir. You're supposed to be in this position. It's being at this it seems like an impasse, and you're really here because this is what it took, or this is what it is going to take in order for you to get very fucking clear. And you want to move forward. You do want to have that sense of being on the right track. You could be on the right track and miss your stop. You could be on the wrong track, but on the right side of town. You could be on the right bus. You know what I mean? We have all these different modes of travel. You could be so close to your destination but miss your turn. And just to know, like, you may not feel like you're familiar with where you are, but trust and believe that you're navigating exactly where you're supposed to be. So even when you make that mistake, what you think is a mistake, you're turning into the right parking lot, if that makes sense. You are so close to where you're supposed to be. And it's all because of these quote unquote fuck ups that you believe that you've done. It's not Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. It really isn't. Everything is going according to plan, even if it wasn't the plan you thought you were making. It's not about your plan, because you're not going to see what's coming at the next turn. You're not going to see what detours lie ahead. You're not going to see who's being irresponsible around you that could cause, freak accidents and all kinds of issues. So trust me, somebody's got your back and you're on the right track. So you will get a break soon. You'll be able to recover. There's a sense of needing to recover here. Um, Definitely to do with either mouth and teeth or lungs, breathing, respiration, sinuses, even sleep apnea. Be careful with that. Elevate your head or sleep on your side. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Stay hydrated, because that's going to also help with respiration. Water does have oxygen content. You do want to make sure that your body has enough oxygen, even if it is from water. So, so if you have fluid retention, make sure that you're going to be seen about, or this is not medical advice. I am not certified to give you medical advice. Okay, so but still, if you feel like something's going on, they do have water pills and diuretics and things like that. Drink yourself a cup of coffee. How about that? Just have a cup of coffee. Unless you're sensitive to caffeine, then don't even listen to that. But like I said, this might be a time for a checkup, just so that there is nothing you don't know about yourself while you're going through all of this stuff, while you're heading in the direction you're heading. Even if you don't know you're going there, it's like going on a road trip you don't know you're going on. You want to still, I don't care if you feel like you're just riding up the street to go to the store, or turns out to be a impromptu road trip or something like that. You need to make sure, okay, you got enough air in the tires, or pressure is okay, your valves are all right, enough fluids. Again, so the vehicle too. Mercury retrograde is in its shadow period right now. So we're all being prompted before the end of the month. Make sure you get your car checked up. Make sure your fluids are straight. Make sure any major um, repairs and things like that, oil changes, get your filters changed. All that stuff needs to happen now. You really don't want to wait until Mercury retrograde gets here and then you start to see problems that were ignored before. Mercury retrograde is not going to make problems happen. It's just going to stop covering up or helping you ignore what has always been there. That's really what it does. Mercury kind of takes its energy back, like pulls all its energy back with them, and people are left to do what they're supposed to do anyway. That's really what the fuck is happening. While Hermes, aka Mercury, is not here and he visits the underworld to go retrieve more information, you're left to your own devices to sift and sort through information with diligence and care and concern, like you're fucking supposed to. That's what's up. So you will be getting a rest soon, and hopefully it is by choice and not by force, because this could be a person being bedridden or quarantined, or just under the weather. We are coming into flu season, you know, and people don't even know the difference. What this is and what that is. They're just, okay, well, damn, I'm more tired than usual. I'm really sleepy, or I can't get no rest, or whatever it may be. So just take a break, sleep when you can, sleep well when you can. So with the mind, you're really gonna have to do what it takes. I don't see it running amok, but you have all of the control to keep certain thoughts at bay, and to make sure that you're not having so much stimuli before you go to sleep. So any lingering things that may be going on, write that shit on a piece of paper. Dude, you may not want to, but write that shit on a piece of paper. And that's just to get it off your mind. So if it's not on your mind, it's on a piece of paper, then that's one thing off your mind. Two things, whatever, however many you put on that piece of paper, so you can rest assured you're fine. It's on that piece of paper. You know it needs to get done. There's nothing you can do about it right now. That's the gist of it. Okay, so in your environment, you are being seen as somebody who's a team player that can actually come in with the assist and make sure that things get done. So they either see you as a starter or a finisher. But for some, like, you either, it's like you tie up loose ends, or you find ways to be more efficient at something. So you may be saving the company money by coming up with these ideas or these structures, or it saves time even. So that's a good thing. You're coming up as a person who is good with that. You're coming up in this as a point of interest when it comes to promotions or mm, new positions that may come available. They may make a position just for you because of the skill set that you have, or they're eyeing you for. It's like you've done this before, so it could be the same kind of work, different department. It could be, you have a familiarity with whatever it is you're handling, and they see that about you, and they really do um, want to better utilize your skills. So I see a little bit of concern here. Um, and it's just your energy is a little scattered. And I feel like there have been some changes that you have not prompted, and you're just having to kind of run with it, roll with it, or whatever. It's like from 100 to 0, but then from 0 to 100. So it's like you may have feel like you misstepped or made a mistake, or you know um missed something, but you really didn't. It's like I said, being in the right vicinity. You're thinking you're turning down the wrong driveway, or making the wrong turn, but it's actually the proper one, the right one. So it's like at a moment feeling like you did something wrong, but then after a moment you realize that you did it just right, and you couldn't have done it any better, because to you at first it seemed like a mistake, or it seemed like you did something wrong, but you're seeing that it lined you up to do something exactly the way that it kind of that you've seen it, like you've already envisioned this, or you've already considered this to be where you want to be, or what you want to do, or where you're supposed to be, where you're going to go. You've already envisioned this. And there's a little, it's like you're at odds with it, because you can't, you have all these conflicting ideas about it. And I really do feel like it's other people's input, suggestions, jokes, opinions, or because it's, when people are like, oh, well, if it was me, I would X, Y, and Z, or that couldn't be me because X, Y, and Z. And they're saying all this half-ass shit out the side of their necks. But in reality, they really, the opportunity that you're speaking on, or the feeling, the thing that you're trying to do, they're almost kind of trying to justify you not having it. or trying to downplay that it wasn't that good, or that if it were them, it wouldn't bother them that much. They would just, um, you know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't study it, or it wouldn't bother them, or something like that. They wouldn't give it too much attention. When really it's something that if they were in the same position as you, they would be up in arms. They would really, be like, oh, hell no. So what they're saying and what they would really do, you can already feel it's not adding up. And this is where the inner conflict is coming from, because what they say and what they would do, the way their energy is set up, you can tell. It's like you're feeling a lie and you're feeling the conflict and the confusion because they're giving you mixed signals. You know them, you know these people, so you know what they would do in a situation like that because they've been in situations like that and they could not handle it. So now that you're in that situation, they're giving you ill advice as if they could just, without a care, without a thought in the world, be on to the next thing. And knowing how much this means to you, you know that's not how you go about things. So that's what brought you from 100 to 0. But now that you're on the ascent, you don't even have to go through those other digits. You're just there instantly because you already know how to get there. And like I said, once you realize that you didn't actually make a mistake, you arrived at your destination, seemingly seamlessly, when it looks to be accidental or it looks to be like another mistake. You actually didn't make one. So the outcome here, there's a lot going on. Like I said, I was trying to get a clarifier for the outcome because it's a very strong, very, very strong outcome card signified here. And this shit is the reason why your ass can't even sleep is because, and I won't say you can't sleep. What I'll say is what you don't know, it protects you while you sleep, is the connection that you have. It is underworld protection as well as upper world protection. So no matter what facets and dimensions you visit, because you are tied to this person, you are like under, y'all are both under a cover. Under, not you could be undercover shit. Not undercover like, no, okay, I'm getting a couple things. Under the covers. So you could be sharing a bed with this person. Undercover, as in being used in an energetic way or a soulful way to do work. When you do close your eyes and go to sleep, you wake up like, damn, I'm tired, or damn, that was a vivid ass dream, or what the fuck was that? What was I dreaming about? Like, you may get a little glimpses of it or whatnot, but being you're being heavily protected, and the forces are not the ones you assume them to be. So the person that you are connecting to, they have upper and lower world protection. So there is much here. They're probably going to end up by proximity, aligning you with your shadow work. And this could have been an initiation to that, with the beginning of the reading, where all of these things transpired. And it's like, damn, with that 5 energy, to really start to look at things and assess them and feel like, damn, did I waste that time, or were those connections even relevant? Like, you're really starting to look at things that you wouldn't have looked at before, and it is the influence. So you're in a very good position. You don't even know what's occurring, um, to the fullest extent, and this would have to really be explained to you on this type of level. So please just listen. Your thought process and the way that you're going to approach this connection with this person, whether new or old, um, it's almost like a repair. Like I said, a person is, they're in repair mode. They're having to rejuvenate. They're having to rest. They're having to catch up with where their physical self and their spiritual self are in two different places. And so their body may be more tired. Your body may be more tired than it's supposed to be. And it's because you're being put through the ringer. You're really being, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a spin cycle, so to speak, and it's separating what you don't need versus what you have to keep. So, with the protection aspect, this is during your day, this is at night, this is while you're sleeping, while you're staying off in the space, when you're daydreaming, doing all of this thing, you still have this protection. And I feel like it's a covering. Like, that's why I said it was like, you were undercover. It's better than being under fire. I promise you. So when it comes to your thought process and things like that, you're really trying to figure out how this is going to move and like transit, transit, transition to um, a place where, you know what I'm saying, there is peace. There is, because I don't see the conflict between you and this other person. I see people um, assuming there should be, and that's not something that you actually feel or think. So when it really comes down to it, there's more strength in the bond than there is in the hearsay or um, in the helpful fixing that is trying to be brought your way. It's just that you know that these people are from different walks of life, and they're pretty much associated with the last 5 months that you've been 5 months, or since the month of May that you've actually been thinking of considering um, leaving out or changing the way that you interact with these people. Like the nature of that relationship has to change because the nature of your relationship with yourself and with this other person is changing. The relationship in relation to your job and the way you're being viewed and the way that you're working, your priorities are changing. And just to toggle those two ideas of where you're trying to go and where you currently are, there's a deficiency, and you're seeing that these people are kind of a part of that balance, or lack thereof. They're kind of heavier than the limit. And so instead of being charged extra for all this baggage and these people who are tagging along with helpful fixing and suggestions that aren't actually helping, it would be far lighter to just travel with your own little entourage. The one that you create, the one that you are orchestrating and putting together. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting three musketeers, or um, like a trio, a dynamic trio, not a duo. And so there is this level of it's two layers here. It's like there's a duo and a trio. It's like who you are with this person, and then who you are in this triad. And it's not like third party or no weird shit like that. It's this is a third person, or a little person, like a kid or a pet or something um significant that the two of you have to take care of or do together. So I see the community aspect where things have to be done um, in a communal way or in a compromising way to accommodate all three parts. But I also see where it's a focus and infinite. Wow, that's not the word I was going for. Focus on. I don't know. That word just escaped me, but I got infinite here. There's another connection still. Even though there's three total, there's two that are working on something very intimately, um, very intricately, and this is what that connection is giving that source of protection. How that transcends, it's with it. There's We're coming back to that desire. We're coming back to um, the emotional needs needing to be met or wanting to finally be allowed to be met. And that's where a person has to kind of coax themselves into allowing that cloak to, fall off the shoulders just a little bit and show a little skin. And this is proverbially, but to uncover, I'm getting that uncover, but this time to like undress, uncover, instead of being under a cover or under a guise or under a layer of protection. This is the part where a person is supposed to unravel or unravel and show and bear certain things about themselves. And that in itself is an act of courage, is an act of strength, is an act of um, power. And that's what this connection gives you that these others are not giving you. They're not showing you anything other than front, putting up a front, flexing, um, keep on with the hard guy, playing hardball, playing hard to get, playing. It's playing, right? But what they're playing, you're not playing. You're playing chess. You have strategy. You have a different angle. You have a different um, design about how you're to do things, because the next step you're doing is setting you up for success later on down the line. This one thing you do here will speak volumes 10 steps ahead. So what they're doing is checkers. They're only thinking for this moment. They're not thinking about tomorrow. And you're being present, making wise decisions in the present, or trying to amend your decisions in the present, and how you can make wiser ones right here, right now, that will benefit you later. Instead of you're not freaking out frantically about 10 days from now, 10 months from now, a year from now. You're really not letting your mind run amok with that stuff. You're pretty much in this stillness of now, which hasn't occurred to you in a very long time. You were either too far in the past, worrying about shit you couldn't fix or redo or do away with, and worrying about the future that hadn't come here yet. So now you're really like catching up to yourself. Like I said, spiritually and mentally, spiritually and physically, you're in two different places. But it's coming closer, like a 3D image when you have on those 3D glasses and the colors are kind of skewed if you're looking at it without the glasses. And when you put them on, you have one eye one color and you have the other eye another color, and the image is perfect. And now you can see it in a more three-dimensional way. It has more of a physical form, and it can really take shape, and it gives you a more wholesome experience. That's what I'm getting with this energy here, that you felt it already, you envisioned it already, and even though you thought you were making all the wrong turns, all the wrong choices, you were actually lining up with them, because you weren't being driven by decision alone. You were being driven by intuition, instinct, and amongst other things. So it's time to reassess. It's like how it works and things like that. You have this yearly or quarterly or whatever, a 6 month, bi-yearly evaluation. This is the same thing that has to happen with certain friendships, certain relationships, or even jobs. They do them to you, but this is you being asked to also do that for other things. To carefully consider each and every aspect of your life as it stands. Your lifestyle changes are only going to occur where you see that they can be better, where they can be amended. And so, what's odd is that this devil energy didn't come up as a vice, it came up as protection. And it's the type of protection that you needed to neutralize what the devil usually is, what it's usually given to you in a different type of form. It's usually given to you in the form of someone offering you your vices just when you said you were going to quit. it was typically offered to you as you deciding to stay in and somebody inviting you out. It's like as soon as you were putting an end to certain things or changing things about yourself, you came and people would knock at the door, call the phone, and they would be offering exactly what you just said you were stepping away from. You're not eating sweets, somebody offers you chocolate or candy. You say you're not going to drink any pop, no soda or whatever, no carbonated drinks, no sweet drinks, whatever. You try and drink more water, somebody offers to buy you something to drink or buys you something to drink and just says, "Hey, I got this for you." And it's like, damn, I just said I was gonna stop doing X, Y, and Z, and here comes somebody offering it to me for free though. It's no charge to you, it's free. So this is how the devil energy works when it comes to vices and things like that. When you say, okay, I'm gonna be celibate. Now here somebody comes that you're highly sexually attracted to. And it's really a test to see how strong your will is, how strong your emotional intelligence is. Do you see it for what it is? And do you have the strength to actually say no? Because what you want is a lot stronger than what they're trying to give you that you said you no longer wanted. It's really to test where the fuck you are. So you can't ever blame anybody for doing these types of things. They're being used as instruments. The devil energy is very, very powerful as it relates to the tarot. Um, and this is because your vice can be turned into a virtue. And that is what I was picking up when I said you were, it's like being covered on the lower and the higher realm. So even when it comes to your vices, the person that you're connected to that other people have their opinions about or they have their own points of view about, they're not seeing through your eyes and they're not seeing how protected you are. When it comes to your vices, this person's um, they can match the devil's energy to neutralize the devil energy of others. This is a real transformative transmutation type of energy. So it's like damn. Okay, I don't know why I was getting Fight Club. Oh, okay. Say a person's like, okay, damn, there's a Fight Club or whatever like that, but this person is the Mike Tyson that would walk in that motherfucker and be like, let's rumble, like let's fight. It's supposed to be a bad thing, and it's supposed to be this forbidden thing, and it's a vice, and you're like, damn, once you're in it, you really can't get out of it. Not unless you fucking fight and you win. So this person has the personality or the characteristic or the ability or the know-how. Something about the vices that come your way, they can counteract that. They can neutralize that. So they're just as strong as what the fuck it is, if not stronger. I've never seen no shit like that before. Or if say you're not eating sweets anymore, or something like that, or you're not drinking alcohol no more. Like if you're having a problem with not eating sweets and turning them down, they say, okay, instead of buying them, how about you make them for yourself? So if ever you want some sweets, you can't buy them, but you can buy ingredients and make your own cookies, make your own cupcake, make your own cakes. And it makes you think about it like, damn, if I really want this, then I have to do it myself. I have to create this thing. You know what I'm saying? So you can have sweets, you can have your vice, but you have to put in the work to actually get it. It's not going to be as simple as going to the grocery store, the convenience store, or whatever. So it's kind of neutralizing the the what is that? The quick satisfying. It's gonna be gratifying. Still gonna be satisfying, but in a different way. So you get the sugar high, but you do all this work, and now you're no longer focused on actually eating the cake or filling this need. That's it, filling this need or getting this need met very quickly, because that's what made the device so appealing, because you could do it really quick, and it was always, a supply for it. So there, it's like, yeah, there's always a supply for it. So it's like it's quickly, it can you can attain it very quickly, and you can get that sugar rush very quickly, and you come into a habit of doing these things without a thought, and you do them so often that now they're always there, and you always have to have them. That is exactly how habits form. And so now, if it's like, damn, well, you can't do it that way, it can't be that simple. This puts distance between you and your addiction. So even if it is, let's say, eating out or something like that, and a person's like, okay, well, no more eating out. Let's create these meals at home. That keeps a person from, it makes them think twice. Like, damn, I can't eat out, but I can go to the grocery store and get this thing, and we recreate these lemon pepper wet hot wings or whatever they may be. It's like it's adding a layer that now turns it from a vice to a virtue. Now a person is spending more time at home. Now they're cooking. Now they're producing their own outcome versus going to, shell out money and have somebody else fry this shit up. They're not really taking stock of what they're doing. It's just habitual. So when a person has to be conscientious of their actions when it leads up to this thing, there's no longer a tie to a habit of it. It's not habit forming, because nobody wants to have a habit of going in there and cooking every single time they have a taste for something. So it's like breaking the habit of it. So it's hard to explain without being, it's not that hard to explain. It's not. But I'm just saying, like, that's how an example of neutralizing something, you know? Okay. So now this is being seen, all those suggestions and helpful fixing that people even may say, or looking back to a situation that may have occurred or transpired. It's looking at it from first, one point of view was looking at it maybe in a not so great way, and seeing conflict in it or seeing challenge in it, and now being able to see it for what it really was and be like, well, damn, it isn't as bad as I first perceived it to be or made it out to be. Now I can see the benefit of it. Now I can see why, a person made the decision they made or said the thing they said, or it's really now seeing that the it's like, again, like that 3D image. It was a skewed perception before, but now both lenses are coming to actually work together and bring the point of focus, the actual sight, to something more tangible, something more dimensional, that is more real. And that's something that has never been uh, done before. To have a vision change or a visual change like that, it's like you can actually see something come to fruition right before your eyes. And now that's where, your thoughts are no longer like um just scattered crows, just, gawking and making all this noise. Now it's like a synchronized, you know what I mean, halo. Just, now there's a synchronistic, synchronized flying, synchronized swimming. Even I'm getting, it's some kind of rhythm to this. Now you can see how another person actually operates in this world, and it's not just their, all these things that you may have perceived, but the moment you had that thought, that devil energy that people around you use will amplify your fears. And so it's like, still being in this devil energy, this person understanding the nature of the devil itself is able to transmute energy. And therefore, that's why you can see, even under cover, even under what you may have seen as a negative situation, or with all this added opinion and issue that was being brought your way, you can now start to see clearly what it was really made of. You can now see from a more guided perspective. And you're getting a second chance with this too, so this is what makes it even more powerful. Because now this time, on upon heading to your destination, it's like you got there first, you got there once, and it was accidental, and now it's nighttime, and you have to recreate that and get back there to that same point, even though you feel like you made a mistake in getting there the first time. So now it's like retracing your, no, it's the other way around. You did it at night. You that's It was so easy to turn in the wrong, quote unquote, wrong road or wrong driveway to get to this destination. Now it's daylight and you can better see what it's really made of. So to get back there and retrace your steps, it's like you have to look at every turn, every, frustration, and feeling like, damn, you didn't know what you were doing or where you were going, when really, now that you're retracing your steps, you're seeing that it was marked very clearly, but you couldn't tell because of this being new territory, this being unfamiliar to you, this not being your niche or your part of town or whatever it may be. This analogy can just keep going. But now that it's daylight and you're having to retrace your steps, you really do have a sense of familiarity. Okay, damn, I did turn this. Okay, yeah, I turned down this street last time. Damn. And I see where I was supposed to have turned or thought I was supposed to turn, but I turned here. So I'm just retracing my steps. So you finally get there. It's like, okay, you're there. You put the car in park. You turn the car off, and you just sit there, and you kind of just you look at this big ass, building or whatever it may be, and it's like, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where it is. And it's almost like you freeballing it and you just, going out on a limb, because now, for whatever reason, the first time you came to this place, you could not even get in. It was the right place, wrong time. Right person, wrong time. But since you've already gotten there, now you know how to get back there, and this time it's daylight and you can see everything, and the door's open. The open sign is on, the door's unlocked, and there's someone on the other side. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I will talk to you all later. Leave in the comment section below if you like this, and I will talk to you guys another time.